Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely phenomenal news. New York Times, China hits milestone, no new local cases. NPR, milestone for China, no new domestic cases. U.S. News, China reports no new local cases for first time. Let's read that. For the first time, ladies and gentlemen, since this calamity, hysteria, panic started. And I'm not saying, I never said that it's not, you have to address issues and problems without going overboard, but that's a whole other story. China on Thursday reported no new local, since it began in the country 3 months ago. It took 3 months. And thank God, and God bless China and the Chinese people. God bless everybody in Italy, everybody affected from this, and the United States. But we didn't do this with President Obama's, the same type of calamities. But that's a whole other story. That started in, December. So I'm not going to get into the specifics of the article. This is U.S. News. China reports no new local cases for the first time. And Elon Musk is right. Elon Musk says panic will cause more harm than the actual calamity. But he's ready to help out. So a lot of this, you look at what media and Democrats in general have pushed. It's the sky is falling, but 3 million Democrats congregated. I think 3 million. I don't know. I think the Cookie Monster on Sesame Street, or what was it, The Count? I think 3 million is bigger than 10. You can't congregate in groups of 10. You can't congregate. Shut down businesses. Shut down bars, restaurants. You can't. But 3 million people in Florida, Arizona, and Illinois, are you talking about the biggest hypocrites on the planet? You mean that the primary is more important than the lives of people? Or maybe they're bluffing. Or maybe Democrats deep down, oh my God, they want this to be the end of the world, but they know it's not. So if it's something they really want, they'll go ahead and, we got to vote for Biden and make sure that Bernie isn't a pain in our rear end anymore. So Hillary Clinton could become nominee. Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee. You think when Biden's all alone and he doesn't face, when Bernie Sanders drops out, which will be tomorrow or today, or he's already getting the negative press, the bad press, that is going to force him to drop out. But anyway, here, 5 hours ago, CNN, China reports no new local infections. China hits milestone, no new local. So China reports no new cases. Fortune, UPI, Fortune. China reaches milestone of 0 new cases. So there you go. And this is in the epicenter, and it was 3 months ago. So, or more than that, actually. The first cases were still, though. Was this panic? I'm not even going to get into it. Let's read what Elon Musk says. Pretty smart guy, Pretty smart individual. Elon Musk says the panic will cause more harm than the calamity. My guess is that the panic will cause more harm than the calamity if that hasn't happened already, he tweeted Wednesday night. So you're talking about a country of 320 million Americans. Each life is important. You're talking about this, it hasn't reached 100 people who've lost their lives in the United States of America. You want to know how many people lost their lives in car accidents? So in 2016, 37,461 people lost their lives behind the wheel of a car, and 3,144,000 were injured. Did we stop society? Is there vehicular control? Is this vehicular violence? Democrats live their lives within buzzwords and euphemisms, and that's it. And if it's President Obama, oh well, everybody be calm. We have a czar. We have a czar taking care of this. We've created a new government agency to take care of this, and everything's going to be fine. Do you want to know how many people lost their lives from the disease during President Obama's administration associated with, when President Obama was in office, the 2009 12,469 Americans. 12,469 Americans. We haven't even reached 100 Americans from this. 12,469. I'm reading the 2009 in the United States. This is Wikipedia. The 2009 flu pandemic in the United States was a novel strain of H1N1, commonly referred to as the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, estimated between April 12, 2009, who was president, to April 10, 2010, 274,000 people hospitalized, and 12,469 in the United States lost their lives. This is 2009 flu pandemic in the United States. Go ahead, and this is Wikipedia. Did we shut down businesses? Of course not. And this wasn't just the average, they say, well, this is different. Well, that was different too. That was easier to contract, and that was also, you could, lose your life easier. So, it's like, the manner in which society was actually doing what it had to do. Society was doing what it had to do. If Major League Baseball wanted to, if the NBA and if baseball, or if private businesses or industries want to react in the UFC, if they want to react in the manner in which they feel is best for, their fellow human beings or for their businesses, then they are free to act in that manner. People weren't going to restaurants and bars anyway. Okay. People were already kind of laying low. But you have states that shut down restaurants. Let's see. So states. So Pennsylvania. You have California. Mapping where America has been shut down. Washington. Washington Post. The governors of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut came together and agreed upon limit on bars and restaurants. They were joined in Pennsylvania, which restricted non-essential businesses. What right does obviously they can. Our restaurant is open for takeout orders only. You see that all the time. New York, LA, Washington announced announced a shutdown of bar and restaurants. Okay, New York, Los Angeles, Washington State, Ohio, Illinois, and several other states imposed similar measures. Did they do this when 12,000 when even in the middle of 12,000 Americans losing their lives? So did they implement this when 6,000 Americans, when 4,000 Americans? At what point during President Obama's administration, when 12,000 Americans lost their lives, could they have decided to do all of this? That's one of my points. So you're going to close down businesses, close down restaurants, movie theaters, gyms, casinos, everything, but you're not going to shut down the Democratic primary? I want to just know the logic behind that. I want to know how you see people on Twitter like, Bernie dropout, lives are being lost, and lives are being lost. You know what? They don't even know. They don't get how many lives were lost during President Obama for similar things without the hysteria. When it's a Democrat in charge, there's no hysteria. Gee, I wonder why. And China has reported no new cases. Thank God. No new domestic cases. So I thought this was supposed to be the end of the world. The epicenter has reported no new cases. China reports no new cases for first time. U.S. News. Not only is this winding down, but we'll look at this panic and we'll say, okay, could there have possibly been some type of ulterior motive other than protecting people? Because when Democrats really wanted to do something, or when, let's just say, it's not just Democrats, but when the establishment, Republican or Democrat, really wanted to do something, you had 3 million Americans congregate to vote during the height of the panic. So that's on the Democratic Party. Why is that? I want to know why. Is voting for Biden? I'm the only person on YouTube with a No Malarkey shirt. I'm not wearing it. Okay. Like I love Trump. I think he's great, but I wouldn't risk, even if it was a choice between Trump and Hillary Clinton, which it will be. And let's say there was like a true issue that I thought that I could risk health, I would live with a Clinton presidency if it was a risk of my health. Yeah. Okay. But they don't even like Biden. And I've focused the past 3 years on I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters. According to the Washington Post, the links are below in the pinned comment. And I wrote in the Federalist why Bernie Sanders supporters should vote Trump 2020. When people say, how do you go from that? Oh my God, he took off the mask. No, there was no mask. 12% of Bernie Sanders supporters voted for Trump. Read the article. You'll find out why. President Trump is the president that Bernie wishes he could be. Record low unemployment up until this hysteria. 6 million jobs created, bringing home Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. So, anyway, give me your thoughts below. This is phenomenal news. And the entire planet should be like jumping for joy right now. The epicenter of all of this has reported no new cases. Give me your thoughts below. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel right now.